TRUTALK, a podcast from TruLand Equipment, where community, farming, and John Deere technology collide.
What's new in agriculture? What's happening in your neighborhood? And most importantly, who are the people that make it all happen?
TRUTALK, cultivating true conversations. Welcome back to the TRUTALK podcast 2026, TRUTALK 2.0, if you will. I'm Josh, your co-host for this season, and I got a new host this year. Jackson, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Jackson Lyons. I am a CST here with TruLand, partners with Josh in the Precision Ag Department IS group, and I work out of the Coldwater, Ohio location.
Coldwater, Ohio. No stranger to the TRUTALK podcast.
Big time listener.
And previous guest on the podcast.
That's right. It was great being on, and now I'm excited to be on as a host.
Now, put you on the spot.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I don't remember. Can you remember what the subject matter was when we were on together?
We were talking about new software updates coming for fall of 2025.
Yes.
And harvest technology. So we talked about the new G5, like all the new features that came out, and new updates to the model year 25 S7 series combines.
Very good.
Audible alerts for flags,
Yeah.
touch or pinch to zoom.
Yes.
Remote display control, not just remote display access on the G5 Plus or G5 screens. Hey, I don't.
Good job.
I mean, when you got your 15 minutes of fame, you're going to remember it, man.
It's pretty bad that I didn't remember that, but no, I do now. I do now.
You've been on too many podcasts, Josh.
Right. Well, and I'm old too,
Oh.
So anyway, anything else you want to share about yourself? Maybe where you're from, where you went to school?
Yeah, so I do work at the Coldwater, Ohio location, but I live in Jay County, Indiana, which is maybe 45 minutes from the store. And fun fact, that's actually been my family's home store ever since we ran John Deere equipment, which has been a long time, longer than I've been around on the farm. So yeah, we farm some at home. I help where they need help. Yeah, so Jay County. I went to Purdue University. Yeah,
Get that in there.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
boiler up.
We're
man.
going to start that feud already this year.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Ohio State versus Purdue. Got to get it going.
That's not going to fare well for us.
No, not really. Hey, I'm a Purdue University fan. Their sports teams may lack a little.
No, I don't think we need to go any farther.
That I agree. But so I just graduated from Purdue here last year, 2024. Yeah, I was an ASM major, Ag Systems Management. Yeah, it's crazy to say that.
Sometimes I forget that you've not
2024. It feels like I was just thinking about that too. It feels like I've been with the company for like 5 years.
It does to me too.
Not that it is like a bad 5 years. It just time flies.
I mean, you feel like you've been my teammate for much longer than a year.
Right.
That's crazy.
Time flies when you're having fun, right, Josh?
Yeah, good teammate, good employee. No, that's great. I mean, we joke about the Purdue thing. Obviously, we joked about it in this podcast for a while.
Right, because
it's by accident, really, that there's two Purdue graduates.
I was about to say, because you are a Purdue graduate yourself, correct?
I am, and you want to guess, if you guess within 5 years of when that was, you get an award, right?
I got to do 1993.
Yeah, you guessed wrong. Oh, you're close. You're close.
I know.
I graduated high school in 1993, so I graduated Purdue in 1997, so I'm a little bit older than you are. You
were also an Ag Systems Management
Ag Systems Management, yeah. And as an agronomist, and the agronomist here at TruLand, and also a CST like you, I've been a practicing agronomist since day one, so it just kind of worked out that way. But we got a lot of ASM majors in our department. And great major, great kids, great coworkers, right? That make very, very good CSTs.
Correct.
That's for sure. So anyway, it's going to be fun to have you on the podcast this year. We're going to have a lot of fun. If you're a listener out there, in the past, we've covered a lot of stuff. We'd had several podcasts out in the past, covered a variety of things. You said you were a listener.
Correct.
And I'm going to ask you, what were some of your favorite podcasts that you listened to, and you cannot talk about the one you were on?
Okay, good, because that was not actually at the top of my list. My favorite podcast, probably by far, was the Receivers podcast with Chad Lance. Chad did an amazing job. I loved that history that he gave. It is so cool to listen to him talk about the evolution of how we didn't have receivers, how we started having them, how we put up base station towers. We've gone from ITCs to SFRTK. Like, it was awesome. I was so, like, I was driving somewhere listening to that podcast, and I got there and it wasn't over yet. And I sat in the car and listened to the last 5 minutes of the podcast before I got out.
Well, I will say I love that podcast too. I love Chad. Chad's awesome and a great teammate and a wealth encyclopedia of knowledge. And
so much.
The funniest part of that was he was just so nervous beyond, but he was a fantastic podcast guest. That was a fun one to do. And we, we've done a lot of things with technology. Again, we're a technology department, and we've been technology heavy, and we've covered a lot of things. There's been a lot of excitement in technology and a lot of exciting things, but we've talked about See and Spray and harvest automation. We've talked about boundaries and AutoPath and Op Center. And, it's going to be important for us to sprinkle that stuff in as we go, right? Because this is a technology company, and
Correct.
Technology is ever changing. But we definitely are looking at doing opening the podcast up for maybe some more exciting types of material and maybe some more people-oriented podcast, right? Talking about things going on in the community. And
so before we get going too far, can you guess what my second favorite podcast was? And I guess I should say podcasts that may be giving it away a little bit.
Oh, you're going to say the agronomy updates.
Heck yes. The agronomy updates, they were great. I loved that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, it was great to hear because you are further west than I am as far as the stores go. And so you get to share kind of what's going on out there, and you get reports back kind of from us on the east side too. But it's cool because I get to see it on the ground over here, and I get an on the ground report from you over there.
Yeah.
And it fascinates me because honestly, when I was at Purdue, I was not interested in agronomy at all. I was all about the mechanics, all about the machines, how that all worked. Someone was like, "Oh, what about the growth stages on corn?" I was like, "I don't care." And now after I graduated, it's so fascinating to me. So it's great to listen to those.
And I understand you being in that situation, and I get it because I was probably in that situation at some point. But I appreciate that. The agronomy is an important part of what we do because the reality is if our customers don't have good agronomics and don't have good yields, they're probably not going to be customers,
right?
Correct. Let's be honest. So it is important, and I appreciate that. And we'll definitely keep those coming. I mean, I think it's important for us to help people get an idea of what's going on in certain parts of our territory. And I struggle, with we have a pretty big territory.
Correct.
And any given year, it's going to be very different when you go from one end to the other. But we try our best to keep everyone abreast of what's going on out there because it's very important for our customers for sure. So we will keep sprinkling those in throughout the year.
Good
so
deal.
What about
excited for them.
What about other things? What gets you excited about being on here?
Yes.
Anything else?
So I think you mentioned how we're going to maybe try and not have such a heavy focus on the technology side, the precision ag side, because we are a little bit biased being in the precision ag department.
Sure.
And so I'm excited, like you mentioned, to get those kind of stories or those people facing podcasts put together. We have a really good one coming up, hopefully soon after this one comes out, that I'm super excited for. Great guest on that one.
Great storyteller.
Awesome storyteller. Right up there with Chad Lance on telling a story. We really hitting home the people aspect of everything.
Sure. And I agree. I mean, this is a podcast. It's about conversations. We say cultivating true conversations. So we're going to bring more true conversations and hopefully some more people your way this year and have a really good time just telling some stories and talking about what's going on out there. So we'll also probably catch up with you at the farm show as well again this year. And,
Correct.
And try to catch some people there to see what's happening. So
we'll
hit the ground running in 2026.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Farm Show podcast. Yeah, I guess 2026 is coming, right? We have more than that lined up. We're working on that. But then looking back, 2025, a wrap up, just anything notable?
I think we've done a good job of kind of setting the stage in this podcast of different facets of the TruLand business, talking about parts and people and sales. And we've really covered a lot of that stuff. Again, technology, but we had a lot of new technology come on over the last couple of years too. So, so definitely it was technology heavy. And again, we can't not talk about that stuff once in a while, but I'm kind of excited. Maybe we'll get to know some of our teammates that don't work in our department, maybe get to know your local TruLand, the guy who's working on your combine.
Parts counter salesman, technician.
Yeah. Maybe learn a little bit about some of the processes in our company, but also just maybe some supporting businesses around us or maybe the youth around us if there's certain things going on. So definitely looking forward to expanding out and just, again, I'm a people person and this is a people business, right? We talked about that earlier and definitely getting excited to hear some of their stories.
People business. Yeah. That's what we're all about. On the TruLand side, I think, like you said, we've kind of gotten a little bit more settled too.
Sure.
Since we did have that merger.
Sure.
And so I think we're getting out of those growing pains. And so I think that opens us up to cultivating those relationships and conversations even more. So,
well, we have a lot of people in this business, right? We have a lot of customers that are people, but there's also a lot of people that we work with that work with those customers. And I think there's a lot of interesting personalities and a lot of cool things going on in everybody's life. So hopefully we'll be able to get to know some of those people as well. So I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
Excited
Me too.
Glad to have you. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be awesome being on.
Okay. Hey, we'll talk to you soon.
Yep. See you later.